Uh, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and Roll Well, and Shalom to all the brothers doing the work in sincerity and truth. Yeah, found this article and I thought it's funny. I was watching a video earlier about kind of going into the crypto one, the what China's been pushing, the what's it called? Crypto one, the digital one that they've essentially got out in use, but it's just not been standardized and fully pushed out. They were just going into how essentially with that, it just gives the government ultimate power over what you can do, what you can't do, because being able to utilize your own money to get paid, to pay certain, utilize certain services, go to certain shops, all these things, because it's linked into the system. Then you're basically you're stuck. You're stuck. So it's another place. Well, that's going towards that cashless society. Well, I would say the guys that have been pushing it the hardest, like the Scandinavian countries, like it's Norway and Sweden. They mention in this one. I read it. It says, so it's on a Financial Post. It says cashlessness may have gone too far in Norway, government warns. Banknotes and coins are used in only 3 to 4% of all transactions in Norway, the lowest level of cash usage in the world. Yeah, so these guys are the guys that are doing the most. And well, that's what they're saying. So Norway's government wants to make sure banks don't stop providing cash as a country becomes a world leader in abandoning physical notes and coins. And this is, people are thinking, well, it was even a video I watched where they said like it's the guys in China, they got used to because I think it started off with Alipay and WePay, where it was you just use like a QR code, but now it's just like NFC from your phone or Apple Watch or whatever, everything's got fucking NFC nowadays. It's actually mad. So yeah. So because pretty much this shit needs. Okay. So what was I saying? So the NFC everything's with NFC. So yeah, he said one of the guys in the video said it's like once you get used to that level of convenience, going back to what do you call it, to using cash, it's hard to go back. So and that's really what's happened with like contactless. So using contactless, then it's like a lot of people where I work, I'll see them, they'll pay and then they'll go, like they'll use, if their contactless don't work, a lot of them won't even stick the card in because they don't remember the pin. People are having to like log into the app and check for the pin because they, man are used to putting the pin in. Back in it, you go back like 10 years, maybe even shorter, maybe just like 5 years. You go back, there'll still have been a decent bit of like chip and pin. People have been more used to that, but it's like since contactless, mainly through the phones, because the phones is the main way, because everyone keeps up on phones regardless. So because the the phones are there, you just get used to using it on the app. So like the first thing you do when you get a new phone, they say, oh, set up Samsung Pay, set up Apple Pay, set up Google Pay. Then bang, you just start using it on, especially even on the underground, like overhead, public transport, because I think other parts of Europe most likely, but it's like London Underground, since they started accepting like contactless cards and your phone, and because your phone's always in your hand, it's just way easier to get used to just tap your phone, tap a card. You don't even have to use the Oyster card. They just kind of warmed you up to it with the Oyster card, and now it's like, okay, you can do it through the phone. You always have the phone, it's there. So it's that convenience to get people onto it. Then what? That's the peak of convenience. As far as Esau is gonna push it, it's gonna be what, the chip. You just have it in there. You don't even have to think about it. You don't forget your wallet at home. You don't have to fumble and get your phone out, or things being funny. You just place your hand near it, and it works. And people will buy into it. People will buy into it. People will see it as like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna do it just based off that, not realizing these things are what the plans of the East. Let's this thing keep playing. And this is what, okay, so the fight, actually mad. Okay. So, what, okay. The finance ministry has told the financial supervisory authority in Oslo to put together a plan that will ensure banks continue offering cash services, according to a statement on Friday. So yeah, these men are just like, yeah, why even fuck with cash? Because even for a bank as well, it's going to be easier to not have to deal with cash. According to a statement on Friday, that that's after the FSA's own survey found that a number of Norwegian banks claim they are not responsible for offering cash services. Yeah, so the man are saying like, oh, we ain't gonna have to fuck with that. So that's how hard it's getting pushed out. And that's the thing, it's with everything going cashless, everything going digital, everything just being like, in electronic transactions that are basically, recorded in the system. That's where that control over it comes easy. That's why you go back to the famous quote: "Give me control of a nation's finances, I care not who makes the laws." That's the thing is that's essentially giving the power over. Okay, giving the power over to the what do you call that? To the banks, which hey, the elites. These are the guys who have control over the reins of the financial system. So this is what banknotes and coins only used in 3 to 4% of all transactions in Norway, the lowest level of cash usage in the world, according to calculations by Norges Bank. Neighbouring Sweden, another nearly cashless society, has also sounded the alarm amid concerns that the complete disappearance of paper money would pose a number of risks. And I think Sweden have already got people chipped up, and Norway as well. So it's like, it's already there. It's already being utilised in the system, and it's just now reaching a greater level of adoption. Countries like Norway and Sweden, they've essentially lapped up, but it's in general, it's moving towards. I think, actually, I don't even know if the majority of transactions were done contact. I think the majority of transactions are done contactless now, compared to before. This website I don't even know what the hell this shit is. Okay, so it says so the near obsolescence of cash has prompted central banks in both countries to explore their own digital currencies. So yeah, digital currencies coming up again. So it's showing this, this is where it's leaning, and these things are getting pushed out. And that's all these things are basically linked up with that mark, man. So this is there is a need to clarify individual banks' duties. Individual banks' duty to give customers the opportunity to deposit and withdraw cash. The finance ministry said that amid signs that banks are currently refusing to offer cash services on the grounds that their customers do not have the expectations of such an offer, and that the banks will specialize in other business areas, it said. So the man is just straight saying fuck it, but the government's trying to slow down the pace. But then what? These things, that's how the elites having these things pushed out. These guys are having digital currencies getting developed. And that mark, man, tied in with that implantable chip under the skin. The Pentagon's pushed out there. that's these things tie in, man. So this is what Idlewold Backer, the deputy governor of Norges Bank, said that the cash serves important functions in the payment system, so that we take measures to make sure it's still accessible and available. Speaking in an interview with Bloomberg on Friday, Waldenbach also said there were no plans to abolish or stop supplying cash if a central bank digital currency were to be introduced. So yes, they're still going to wean people off it, but it's going to be pushed out. And it's that's the thing is Esau's using the convenience angle, and then even in China they're just straight giving it away for free, saying it's time limited, so they get like I think 101. It was, I can't even remember. It's 100 or 10. I don't know. 101. I believe it is. And then it's time limited, so it lasts like a week or a month, and they have to spend it. So that's the level of control that Esau wants, man, to be able to just have it like. And that's the thing with China. China will be ahead and push these things out swiftly, because why? They've got their populace on lock on a high level, man. Over here, in the West, you're gonna get the pushback, which is what you've been seeing. You've been seeing that pushback, especially in Europe and the States. Like, man, are still like anti-lockdown protesters and whatnot. Even when Boris said, "Oh, we're gonna be out of lockdown in a few," blah blah blah. People are still resistant. So with these things as well, especially because it's a place like England, even though like in the main like metropolitan areas, like in inner cities and whatnot, like around the main capitals, big cities, then it's like it'll be a very digital. But then you go further out to smaller towns, more remote areas, then it's like cash will be more prevalent. Especially because a lot of them are older as well, so it's not going to be as easy a push as as it's been in these countries. But the push is there, man. It shows what time's short. So this is what in Sweden legal change is requiring. Yeah, so they're just making it legal. But then, like I said, central bank currency. That's what you see in pretty much every country is mentioning it. Because why? They're seeing China's doing it, US is doing it, so it's just like, that's the way the wind's blowing, and that's the vibration being pushed out. Because that's why you had crypto just blowing up. It's meant to have lost some value recently, but as far as like Bitcoin, that shit's gone absurdly high. Like I think it was over 50 grand at some point. So it's hit mad levels. And that's what everyone talking about, interested in. You got the Neuralink brain chips as well. All these different everything. Hey, the way everything's moving lets you know this thing's close, man. It's all about that mark. But yeah, I'll leave it at that. Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yeshua, Shem Kakadash Bakata. Shalom.